Hey guys, welcome back. Well, today I'm going to be taking a look at these little FPV goggles by Eachine. These are the Eachine VR005. These are really small FPV goggles and really inexpensive. I think they're around $30 to $35. As far as I know, and I could be wrong, but these are about the cheapest, if maybe not the cheapest, FPV goggles you can buy. I'm just wondering, are these worth it? Is it worth it? It's not much money to spend. Is it worth it taking a shot at these? Or should you move on to something much more expensive? Now, of course, a lot of that depends on at what level you are in this hobby. If you're just a beginner, that's what these are aimed at. Obviously, someone experienced really into the hobby and flying racers is going to have a pair of fat sharks. They're not going to waste their time with something like these. But how do these perform for only 30 bucks? It's really a low risk, but is it worth it? If these are junk or not. Let's find out. Well, let's look at the box here. You can see small box. These are small goggles. It says mini size right here. I just want to compare them here to these big box goggles, these big Furby ones that I've had for a couple of years. Look how huge these are compared to the Eachines. Look at these side by side. Just in the width, the size, just the whole size of it. Plus these Furbies, you have to hook an external battery up to it. One of the nice thing about these Eachines is it has a built-in, I believe it's a 600 milliamp lithium ion, I'm sure, battery inside of here. It says on the rear of the box, it says here the specs, 600 milliamp hour, and it charges through the USB here on the bottom. It comes with a USB cable if you need one, standard micro USB. To charge up the battery is a little light, I think it shines red or green, I can't remember. I think it was red, and it goes out whenever it's fully charged. So that's really a huge plus at this price point to have a built-in battery on it. It has a pretty nice, it's a little screen, but I tell you what, I was shocked at how clear it was. I flew around the house flying my Tiny Hawk, and it would work really, really well. They're small, so they're not heavy and bulky on your head. They're rather comfortable here, and it has a foam padding for your face. There's quite a bit of nosebleed, light bleed around the nose, not nosebleed, light bleed around the nose here. But some of that is also depending on how the size of your nose. It's going to make it big enough to vary for different size, heads and noses. But if your nose is not really large, I should say, you're going to have a decent amount of light bleed around that, which can affect how easily you can see the screen. And the strap that comes with it, I don't see a whole lot of adjustment. I guess you can adjust it smaller, but I don't see a way to let a whole bunch more excess in. So my head's not that large, and these are pretty tight. But it's doable. But I mean, you might need a bigger set of straps, I guess, if you have a really large head. These are definitely aimed at, these would be perfect for someone a little younger too, because the smaller head. But you do have to attach these straps. I just put them around the plastic little clamp things on here. You do have to install, it comes with these two flip antennas. You have to install those, screw those on. It also comes with some rubberized adhesive squares here, which I'm not exactly sure if those are just something that go on the back of these straps, or if it could be something really common sense that I'm just not aware of. But I'm not exactly sure what these are for, but they are in the package. And your instruction manual here, which I'll show you, is very, very basic, but it does have some of the information you want to know. Of course, it's 48 channel receiver inside of there. That resolution is 960 by 240. Kind of a typical oddball kind of resolution that the goggles typically have. 145 grams of weight, so it's pretty lightweight. Pretty much basic, very, very basic. That's why I don't tell you too much about how to use them, because it is kind of straightforward. So you've got on here your buttons. You've got a power button here, your auto search, your band and channels here, so you can manually tune, or you can have it tune in for you. And like I said, the picture's really, really nice. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with these. It's hard to believe you get an actual screen receiver, all this for like $30. It's just kind of mind-boggling, actually. Now, there's no built-in DVR, so if you want to record your footage, you have to use some other screen or another pair of goggles to record. But I actually like these as something that's really easy and portable. I can pick these up and just go fly in my house and not have to worry about a bigger, bulky pair of goggles. Now, I use a little better pair. I don't have any fat sharks, but I have a little better pair with a built-in DVR that I use when I do fly. But I'll be using these quite a bit for like especially indoor flying, or if I'm just quick on the go, I just grab these and go. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and power these up. I want to show you guys what the screen looks like, because there's no DVR and there's no real easy way to show you exactly what it looks like, but I try to get here up next to my phone so I can show you guys the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to power on the my GoFly Scorpion here. And one thing I like is it keeps the channel you were last tuned to saved. My other goggles always reset to a default channel, and then you always have to rescan every single time you want to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to record some footage here of the goggles. So let's go ahead and record that. All right, so you can see there it's got your, up on the right there, you've got your battery indicator for the built-in battery. It's got, I think, your channel information, your signal strength. So there's a lot of glare here, but you can see, I try to move it kind of slow. And you can see that that's a really nice image in my opinion. So I think, I don't think you can go wrong for, you know, around $30. So there's really no way the only other thing I could do to try to show you guys a flight would be to actually mount the camera in there and try to take these outside and fly to give you footage. But I think this gets the job done just as well than trying to assemble some sort of a gimmick, I guess, a little assembly to try to do that with. So go ahead and stop recording that. All right, so there's the screen down there on. Maybe you can see it in my head cam, but so hopefully it gives you guys an idea how the screen looks in the goggles. The battery indicators drop to two bars to halfway. Those battery indicators are usually not very accurate in the goggles, but so far I've used it for a couple flights and it seems like the battery's doing pretty good. So I don't know what the battery life will be on these, but you know, it's easy enough to charge with the built-in lithium ion. So really pretty impressed with these little guys. Again, if you have a really big head, or you know, and stuff like that, you know, these could be a little uncomfortable, but for most people I think they're okay. They just may be a little bit tight, but I am really impressed with the image quality on these, and just really dirt cheap. I mean, you're not taking much of a risk on these. So if you're someone who's just getting into FPV flying, I would recommend these, because this is a really low risk. If you get into FPV and you say, oh man, this is not for me, I'm too dizzy or nauseous or motion sickness. Some people have that problem. I do sometimes myself. You want to find out, is FPV for me? Well, you're not going to go wrong with these, because you're not going to break the bank, you know, on these, and it gives you an idea just if FPV flying is for you. So if you're just get into FPV flying, I would highly recommend these, especially for the price. All right, guys, well, that should wrap up this review of the Eachine VR005 FPV goggles. Be sure to subscribe, guys, to the channel so you can get see some of the videos I got coming up. Make sure you click the bell so you know when I do upload a new video. And as always, guys, have a great day.
The power of the dark side.